Hello guys, welcome to another practical change of subject series in mathematics. In today's series, we would be solving a very sensitive question on mathematics change of subject, right? So let's quickly delve into the question. So our question for the day in today's series is 1. Make D the subject of the relation. Okay, so our equation given to us by our consultant is A equals the fraction B squared multiplying CD minus E, or in brackets, over 2DE, right? So we are supposed to make D the subject of the relation, right? So let's quickly solve it. So, okay. So based upon the preamble of our question, we are asked to make D the subject of the relation in the equation A equals to the fraction B squared multiplying CD minus E, or in brackets over 2DE, right? So what you have to do is to multiply each side by the LCM, the least common factor. So the least common factor is the factor that would actually go into all the denominators, right? So this A here, okay, this A here, okay, has an invisible one here underneath it. Every number can be divided by 1, right? So between 1 and 2DE, the LCM, the number that can enter each side is 2DE, right? So you multiply through both sides of the equation with 2DE, right? So we have our equation to be A multiplying 2DE equals 2DE times the fraction B squared multiplying CD minus E, or in bracket, over 2DE, right? So we will do some cancellation out. So this 2DE will cancel itself out. This 2D also cancel out, right? So we are going to get our equation to be A multiplying 2DE equals B squared multiplying the CD minus E, all in brackets, right? So let's do some expansion here, right? So A multiplying 2D would give you 2AD, right? And equals B squared multiplying CD minus E, all in bracket, okay? So doing further expansion, right? We are going to have A multiplying 2D will give you 2AD, right? Equals B squared multiplying CD will give you B squared CD, right? And in similar phase, B squared multiplying negative E will give you negative B squared E, right? So in all, we are going to have our equation to be 2ADE equals B squared CD minus B squared E, right? So based upon the preamble of our question, we were tasked to make D the subject of the relation, okay? So that means we have to group like terms. So the variables with d components in them would be grouped at one side, and those without d components in them would be also grouped to the other side, right? And when you check this our equation here, right? Our equation here, right? 2ADE equals B square CD minus B square E, right? Between in this equation, right, you can find the variable D in two variables. So that's B square CD and 2AD, right? So in order to group like term, right, we have to move 2AD to join B square CD, right? And 2AD is a positive variable, right? So the rule is that when a variable crosses the equal to sign to the other side of the equation, it changes its form, right? So it's metamorphized into another formation, okay? So if it's a positive number, when it crosses the equal to sign here, right, it is going to metamorphize into a negative number. Similarly, if it's a negative number, it will metamorphise into a positive number. But here, our variable here is a positive number, so it will jump the equal to sign to the other half of the equation and become negative, right? So, and also, when you check the equation, the other variable that doesn't have a d component in it, right, is negative b square e, right? Negative b square e, right? So this negative b square e is a negative number, a negative variable, sorry. So it will also have to cross the equal to sign, right? And immediately it crosses the equal to sign, it will change its form as explained earlier on to become a positive number. So hence we are going to have our new equation to be b square e equals b square cd minus 2ade, as explained earlier on, right? So now when you check our new equation on our right hand side, you could see that the common factor here is d, right? So we have to factor out d, right? Because b square cd minus 2AD both has D, right? So that's a common factor. So we have to factor out D. So we factor out D. Yeah, so when we factor out D, we are going to have our new equation to be B square E equals, now we used to have B square CD, right? So what number or what variable in the world can d multiply to get b square cd? And the only number in the world is b square c, right? Also, in similar trajectories or similar trajectory, depending on your standing, right, what number can d multiply for d to get negative 2ADE, and the only variable or number is negative 2AE here, right? Negative 2AE here, right? So now we've gotten our equation to be b square e equals d multiplying b square c minus 2AE, all in brackets, right? And based upon the preamble of our question, okay, we were tasked to make D the subject of the relation, right? So that means we have to make D an independent variable, or make D stand on its own, right? So here, d multiplying b square c minus 2ae, or in bracket, is a dependent variable. So d is dependent on b squared c minus 2ae, or in bracket, right? So in order to eliminate, okay, the dependent for d to become independent, we have to do some cancellation. So we have to cancel out the equation here with b squared c minus 2ae, or in bracket, right? And whatever you do for the left hand side in mathematics, you do same for the right hand side. So that means when we are canceling out with b squared c minus 2ae, or in bracket, okay, when we are canceling out, we have to do same for our other half of the equation, which is b squared e. Okay, so we are going to get our new equation to be b squared, the fraction b squared e over b squared c minus 2ae, equals the fraction d multiplying b squared c minus 2ae over b squared c minus 2ae, right? So in doing the cancellation, okay, so b squared c minus 2ae will cancel itself out, one, to equally cancel out the dependent variable that is attached to d, that which is the same b squared c minus 2ae, okay, making d an independent, or the subject of the relation. Okay, so we are going to have our d to be equal to the fraction b squared e over b squared c minus 2ae, right? Thank you so much for watching today's video. Kindly do well to subscribe for more. Thank you. Bye.